Hey fellow tennis nerds, I hope all is well. I am back in Malta, so I need to hold my mic because I can't find the mic support. It's back in Spain, most likely. But we need to get into some Australian Open action. I want to talk about Breakpoint and a few different apparel changes, sponsorship changes in this video. So it's a mixed bag. You who have followed the channel for now, you know the format. If you don't follow the channel or subscribe, please do. It helps and it doesn't cost you anything. On the Tennis Nerd podcast, we predicted that Rafa Nadal might lose his first round encounter with Jack Draper. He did not. He is Rafa Nadal. He always finds a way. I don't know how he does it, but he does, and he won 4 sets. And now the question is, how far will he go? And what do you think? Put your thoughts in the comments below. One thing to point out, what I got some questions about, I covered it in a previous video, is that he's using his previous cosmetic, the Pure Aero Rafa 2021. There's a new one coming that he used for a while during United Cup and the preseason. He didn't win a match with that. It's not the fault of the racket, most likely. It's just superstition. He won the Australian Open with that cosmetic. He's gonna try it again. Rafa is quite superstitious, as you know, but I'm sure Babla are not thrilled that he's not using the design of the racket that they want to sell. Kudos also to Andy Murray, another old fighter who's still battling. I mean, he retired at the Australian Open a few years ago, and still he's there grinding away. It's so impressive to see. Beat Berrettini in 5 sets while a marathon. Berrettini missed a match point. Couldn't quite get the backhand over the net, so he must be kicking himself. Yeah, that's kind of a good segue into the Breakpoint series, because both Rafa and Berrettini are covered in some detail in this series. There are 5 episodes as of now, and the reviews seem kind of mixed. Tennis fans are so into it, while people who are curious about tennis but don't really follow the sport seem more engaged. That makes sense. I think that's the whole purpose of the series, is to engage people who are not into tennis. We're already there, you know, so we're already playing, engaging, loving and watching the sport. You don't need to convince us that it's a great sport. You need to convince the players that have not yet found this beautiful sport. So I think they've done a great job with the series. The shots, the angles, everything. It's a good series. I really like it. I thought the first episode was a bit flat. Could have been more there, but I think they tried to just bring in so much information for non-tennis fans about the rules, about the tournament formats and so on, to kind of build the stage a bit for the coming episode. So I think that made sense. But as it progresses, it gets better and better. I watched all 5 released episodes so far, and I've really enjoyed them. I think they are interesting. You get to know more about the players, the struggles they have, and I think they deserve a thumbs up. And I hope this brings more people into tennis, and we should be happy that we actually have a series on Netflix. And we'll see what the effect is, but hopefully it's a very positive one. In apparel sponsorships, we have Lorenzo Sonego over to Emporio Armani, we have Alex Molchan to Asics, and Martin Fuchsovich has actually switched to Sixpack apparel, which is telling me that I need to go to the gym. If you have any thoughts about the outfits at the Australian Open, I was fascinated by that stuff. Nike have some colorful stuff. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Thanks to you fellow tennis nerds on Instagram. I got notified that Technifiber listed the gear of their players, and they didn't mention a string setup for Daniil, and maybe that's because he switched brand, but probably not. Maybe he's just playing with a string that's unreleased. Is it Razor Code Carbon, which is an upcoming string that I've heard of, or is it something else? Time will tell, but that's something to take note of, and will be interesting to see how that affects his game. I always felt like the white strings are very lively and lose tension quickly. I've talked about how colors can affect the string in a podcast with Dennis Fabian. You can check it out on the Tennis Nerd podcast, also on YouTube. So maybe this will give him even more control, and then he will be very dangerous. I had been told that there was a Wilson shift shipped to Malta for me to test, but there was nothing here when I came. I don't think anyone has stolen it. I think it was some misinformation, so hopefully I can get my hands on a shift in the near future. But I have other reviews like the Diadem Elevate and the Bolt rackets coming up, so there will be a lot of review materials and other content coming your way. But just wanted to update you on that, as well as a Hawk Power review and so on. I assume that the Pro Staff, the new Pro Staff, since the cosmetic is already revealed, will be launched before. And if you've tried the new Pro Staffs, let me know what you think about them. I have not yet tried any, and I hope I can get my hands on a few coming up. That's all for this mixed bag. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to support the work I do and get more free content every week, you join patreon.com/tennisnerd. And if you need help finding a racket, you go to tennisnerd.net/help, where there's a course and there's a personal consultation service that you can use to get you to the right racket so you can focus on your tennis. That's it for this video. Have a nice day, and don't forget to play some tennis.